Improvisation is all about how to master things through change. So I thought I'd demonstrate that with a very quick game or exercise, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And then we'll start to open it up into happy hours, a little bit more of discussion. So is there anyone willing to come off of mute and help me with this exercise? It's pretty simple. Yeah, Jamar is already there. He's good to go. Fantastic. So Jamar, I'm going to spotlight both of us just so we're able to see it. And see both those. And Jamar, are you familiar with the game New Choice or Ding?
Never heard of those.
Never heard of either one? Okay. So what's going to happen is I'll start and then we may switch roles if you're feeling comfortable with it. But the way that it works is I'm going to start to tell a story. And at any time, if you don't like the kind of decision that I've made or the direction that the story is going, you just kind of raise your hand so I visually see it and just say new choice. And I'm going to have to change whatever it was at the last thing that I just said. I'm going to have to change that and go in a different direction with the story. Okay. And so you can kind of do it whenever you want. You can do it because you wanted me to see a different choice, or you want to see if you want to just do it randomly, etc. Does that make sense? So anytime you want me to do something differently, you just kind of say new choice. For this story, can someone drop in the chat a suggestion of an animal? Bianca was talking about dogs, so maybe let's get a suggestion of an animal of some sort. That's just going to be what inspires a parrot or a raccoon, chicken. These are all fantastic. What was the first one? Cow. That is one of my favorite, my daughter's favorite animals right now. So a cow. Fantastic. So I'm going to share this story about a cow. And again, Jamar, anytime you want to raise your hand, say new choice, you're able to. All right. So once upon a time, there was a baby cow named Lola. And every single day, Lola loved to go to the beach. She loved to swim and to surf and to get a suntan sometimes as well. And one day, Lola was out at the beach and she got stuck in the current. So she got swept away out into the water, and luckily she found a piece of wood that she could float on. And okay, new choice. She found a boat that she jumped into, and on this boat were some other passengers on there. There was a giraffe and a monkey and a penguin all hanging out on this boat. And Lula was like, man, wow, what a creative a group this is. And they're like, yeah, we're all from the San Diego Zoo, and we are trying to escape because we realize we want our own freedom. And so, and because we really want to go and eat some In-N-Out burger. Because In-N-Out burger is okay. Yeah. Okay. We really want to go eat some In-N-Out burger. And at first Lula was like, oh, that's amazing. Then she's like, wait, burger, what kind of food is a hamburger? And she's like, is it ham? Because ham is in the title. And they're like, oh no, it's technically a cow. And she's like, no, we are not going to In-N-Out burger. I don't care how delicious those milkshakes are. And she tried to convince the other animals why eating cows was bad. She was like, first of all, it is my brethren that you would be eating. Second of all, like methane gases and stuff for the environment. Third of all, like, don't you want like it to try a lab grown burger? Right? There's now lab grown meat that you can try. And they're like, you know what? Okay, maybe we could all try some lab grown meat. And so they row their way to shore and they find themselves at San Diego. So it's a very hip town anyway. And they find a lab grown burger spot and they go in and enjoy some of the food. So we'll end the story right there. Excellent. Well, a round of applause to Jamar. Thank you for helping out, giving those choices. Are you willing to try the opposite, Jamar? Are you willing to start a story? Then I give you new choices to come up with something new?
1000%.
Fantastic. I love it. So it can be a story about, we already got some suggestions. We'll say your suggestion for this is horse, whatever that means to you. Doesn't necessarily have to be specifically about a horse, but that's just your inspiration. And I'll raise my hand and say new choice anytime you need to go and start to go in a different direction. All right.
Right, of course. So growing up in New York City, I always wanted a horse. But my mother told me that there is no place to put a horse in New York City.
New choice.
But we could get you a horse if you lived out on the countryside with your grandmother. So I said, Mom, I'm willing to go live with grandma because I really want this horse. And so I found myself in the Bronx, which is the furthest most borough north of New York City. And the horse that my grandmother got me was a toy horse. And it was one of
New
those
choice.
horses that kind of has that little spring action.
Yeah, so new
She
choice. The
said,
type of horse you
Jamar,
got.
I'll get you a stallion. Okay,
Yeah.
the type of horse that I had was a little pony. And so this little pony that I got was only 3 feet tall, and it wasn't very impressive because I wanted a stallion. I wanted a black stallion, but my grandmother said, you got to learn to ride this pony first. And when you can learn to ride this pony, then and only then I'll consider getting you a stallion. And so I took this little pony named Tony out around the block,
New
and
choice or
people started
name?
to make fun of me. I took this little pony named Stella, and Stella
New
was the
name.
top. I took this pony around named Ethel, and Ethel was the star of the town. Everybody wanted to pet her, but I was like, I want to ride her. I can't ride her if you keep petting her. And Ethel, she knew that she was the star. And so she would run ahead. She was very disobedient. And I said, I'm never going to learn how to ride Ethel unless I can get people to stop petting her. And so I had to go out before I took Ethel out, and I had to pay people. Here's $1. Don't pet Ethel.
New method for not petting her.
And so in order to get people to not pet her, I had to douse her with Vaseline. And I told them that Ethel had the cooties. And so as I took
Actually, we'll stop right there for the sake of time, but a huge round of applause to Jamar. That was fantastic. So very nicely done. Let me ask you, how was the exercise? How did you feel?
Oh, you know what? It's so much fun. It's like you're stretching your synapses to like reach for things, and it feels very exhilarating. It's like a mental workout.